All right, guys. It's Wednesday evening. Yes, I'm a day late. Not a dollar short though. I've got some money that's not on me. Anyway, it's Wednesday evening at 7:30. I thought I'd do an update for about shows and talk a little bit about things that I added today. Go over the Fort Myers weekend this past weekend, this past Sunday. Talk a little bit about that show, and then when we'll be back there, and then talk about our shows over the next course of the next month or so. It's going to be a little bit not crazy. I mean, we're running an average still of about two shows a month. I know that might seem like a lot to some people. Other people, it's not enough. So I'm running about as many as we can do. Although I do have some help now. I'm working on bringing more people online. And thanks, Lisa, for being here. Look forward to seeing you in Orlando this weekend. And then Mike and Margaret, I hope they sound. I said they seem to say they have a good weekend. Fort Myers, they're right next to me. I'm so I think they had a good weekend. And our friend August came out to Fort Myers. He brought some Disney pins, which we don't get too often. So hopefully we'll see August at a couple other shows. Otherwise, I'm going to have to invest in Disney pins. I don't know if the pyro guy is still doing. I contacted him. He didn't get back to me, which is I don't know. Maybe he's mad at me for some reason. I have no idea. But um, basically, yeah. So I was looking for some Disney pins. We added him to the Fort Myers, and then Mr. Cruz had a great booth. Of course, he's coming along. He's got great booth there. Anyway, so and then of course we had our other vendors. I'm sure we'll have a few more people on, but I'm going to go ahead and move forward. I got a full kind of docket here. I don't have any notes, but I got some screens I'm going to share with you. And of course, I'm going to start with the Fort Myers. Now, um, we were in the original room that we had been in September, and we did not see Lori for some reason. No, we didn't see Barbie Hobby this last Sunday, but that's okay. I'm sure she'll be at the next July show for sure, the Coral Springs, which when we'll be back there. But thank you for coming and watching there. Barbie there. And anyway, but we missed you at the Fort Myers. But Fort Myers was pretty good. We've had around 3,000 people already this year in the first two shows. Oh man, stay warm up there. Stay warm, and then or sorry, stay warm up there. And then we had Ron, who's a new guy, learning the ropes. Seemed to be okay. Just bring some bags. We sell stuff at our shows. Okay, bring some bags. And Jonathan, thanks for coming out and visiting us. So we are out in Fort Myers. This is my booth, my own booth. It's kind of evolving. We didn't have Jerry Brand, who was in San Jose, California, and then some of the other guys in Central Florida, the vintage guys, they were shopping over there at Renegers this last weekend, so we missed them. And then in stuff. So I've been feeling like I want to set up now, not to necessarily compete with vendors or really have a huge booth. Let me go ahead and make myself a little bit bigger. Okay, so I'm not trying to have like a big booth what. Well, I am going to have a big booth, but what I'm not trying to do is, I'm kind of vending, but I'm not. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be bringing pieces that I think are missing at the show based on the vendors that we have, or filler. Filler. I don't buy, I'm not buying, some of our vendors, how you make sure that you, I want to say, make money as a vendor, in my opinion, is you have something at every price point. Okay. You have something that's at the lower end, and then you have bigger pieces. And I think that if you have enough of a good mixture of things, you're bound to sell something. Okay. And so I don't collect, totes of figures, or I don't buy those types of things, and in order to be, I think, successful, um you have to do that. And then I'll come back to the comments, guys, here in just a minute. And and so what I collect is obviously stuff, and I'll go ahead and like a couple pieces that I got this weekend. I got this really wasn't on the floor. I will show you something that was on the floor. I had talked to a vendor ahead of time, and I got this sealed sun streaker. So this is something that I'd be collecting now, looking for, because I have a lot of stuff. And then I did get this. This was on the floor for somebody to buy, and it was probably there for a few shows. And that is a boxed Starscream. Now, I sold one of these a couple weeks ago, and so I thought, hey man, I'm going to get me another one. This one in particular has a reproduction, the insert to hold the plane in there, but everything else is vintage. So that's okay. So anyway, I did pick that up. That was available pretty much the whole show for vendors to pick up. But I had people that, I always get questions about, hey, will there be any, G1 Transformers? Will there be any box Transformers? Well, I've been buying them. So I bought I think I went to, the Retro Vault. I bought some stuff there from Rod, and then I bought some other stuff at another show that was Transformers. And I'm not buying these at like a great price, or a like wholesale deal. I'm buying them, and then when I sell them, I'm just kind of selling them for what I have into it. But I want the stuff to be at the show, and I want to have filler for things that I don't think are at the show. So that's my goal with my own booth there. Okay. So let me go ahead and show you that. That's my booth here. And then the other thing too is I'm always trying to figure out where to put the music. And so I added the speakers up here, and then I got these little light balls that I bought for Super RetroCon way back. And so I decided, it just gives it a little flair. And then we got our carpet there that I ordered. Okay, and then I'll just show you a couple other pictures of the show from this last weekend. This was at about 10 o'clock, going down one aisle. We had it set up to where there was wide aisles, and then over here, you had, I'm taking pictures from my booth basically. I mean, Abby Mel had a pretty crazy, it was pretty busy over there. We had a really pretty good show, guys. And then you had, Brutus was busy. Keith Coogan was busy. I mean, everybody was, I would say this is a comic book that I wanted to buy, but I didn't. And then here, this is my Keith Coogan, my wife, and Pinky, and then my friend over there on the right, who has never seen my show, but I decided that I would show him the show. So we had a great time in Fort Myers, and I look forward to being there again. Now we're probably gonna work on a September date. Numbers wise, we were about the same as we normally are in January, where we have been on the last, let's say 3 one-day shows. I know there was a couple other events. I know there was one other event going on. I didn't really see, too much of a change there. And then the other thing was, the one thing I think is happening down there is down in Fort Myers is there's a lot of comic stuff down there right now, and there's the card guys. We used to, the first couple shows, 2 or 3 shows we did, we had a whole card row in the back, and I think those guys have decided to do a card show. There's a ton of card shows going on. I'm only bringing it up because I did look at adding more, adding more space for cards, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick with what we do, and we're going to expand from there. Okay. So let's go ahead and go through some comments. Want to say hi to some other people. I'm glad you got some bags there. I need to get some bags. Actually, I don't have anything either, so don't feel bad. I don't think about that. And Diana, we're looking forward to seeing you and Jesus and Orlando, along with our other friends. And cool, August on the Disney. We're looking for more stuff. Okay. And hey, man, we want to know. I think Mr. Retro is mad at me or something. I don't know, man. I haven't heard from him in a while. We were hanging out, and all of a sudden we haven't heard from him. So, hey, man, don't be feel free to come on out. And I know we haven't been close, but ready to do another video. I've been wanting to do one on this Coleco stuff that I have. And speaking of videos, and I have to thank Damien here for help pushing me. I am going to do more videos. I got these Ray-Ban Meta AI glasses. I would have done a video at the show, but I was playing music, and then it's going to just block it out, or I'm going to get a copyright strike on the YouTube when I post it. So I didn't end up doing a video. And then I might show an example on here of what I've been messing around with them last week when I got them. I got to get some script lenses for them. But yeah, and then I've got a small camera like an Adam the Woo style vlogging camera that I need to work on getting videos. But guys, I am working on adding shows and getting the venues. This is a lot. I know I say this every video, but there's a lot that goes into putting together these shows, and I would say there's two major factors that are the hardest. One is dealing with venues. You would think that you could just call up a venue, they give you a date, and then you give them money, but believe it or not, it's not that quite that easy. There's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of times where people don't get, don't follow up with you. So you got to reach out to them several times, and you're trying to give them money for their building. But I will say that the Altamont show that we have coming up on April 12th, this was just about the easiest space to rent. Now, I'm sure that I've called these guys before a couple times, and because it is a little smaller than Avanti, I have just kind of I didn't do it. But this time we went in there. Jeff Mikado had reached out to them and for me, and giving him credit from Slap Happy, and anyway, we went and looked at it. Looked good, so we're gonna be there on April 12th, because she got back to me right away with several dates. I'm planning on having another show in October, assuming this one goes well. But anyway, so she gave me some dates, and boom, right there, we already got the contract. I'll sign everything for the April the 12th. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the Avanti or some other building for the Con Misfits in March. So I'm going to try to set up with somebody at MegaCon. We'll see how well if that happens or not. I'm just saying I'm on the lookout to join somebody's booth or buy part of their booth or whatever. So I'll bring some stuff, and anyway, I'm going to look into maybe being there. I don't know. So that's, get the word out, and I'll explain that in just a minute, a little bit about what I'm doing. Okay. All right. So again, Fort Myers is great. Really looking to be there again in September. And okay, let's say, okay, so let me just skip down here already. Yeah, Mike Smith. Yeah, I do collect cars actually. I mean, I need to get rid of some actual real life cars this summer, but right now I have the Mustang, my 93 Mustang is being worked on. It's going to be painted. I've been working on trying to figure out if I want to paint it white, 100% red right now, but that'll give me some wrap ideas anyway. But anyway, and then yeah, great visiting with Brutus. Okay, cool, awesome, awesome. All right. Okay, let's see what Damien says. Just messing with my calendar. Reach out offline so we can do Coleco. Yeah, just the Coleco video, guys. Just so you know, I have a whole collection of ColecoVision. I have like all of the modules in the box, and I have a bunch of ColecoVisions. And then recently, I got an Atom computer. If you guys remember what an Atom computer is, I don't know if I'll keep the Atom computer because it's pretty big, man. Like, then I got a bunch of games and stuff I got from a guy a couple of years ago that passed away. Unfortunately, a vendor of ours. He had a whole collection, and I bought it from his wife. And anyway, yeah, so I'm sure he would have wanted me to have it anyway because he was at my house and really liked my stuff here. All right, and Marco is trying to get me to go to Boca. I need to go and look at venues in Boca. I don't even know honestly where that is. I haven't been there. Melbourne, probably Coco is going to be the thing that I stick with. I'm not going to try to rent the auditorium. I think I mentioned that before. The Melbourne auditorium, the way that they handle, when you're doing 20 plus events, I have to manage cash flow as far as deposits and all this stuff, and they're it's just not, they're not that friendly as far as that goes. Naples, Marco would probably be the only vendor that would sign up for Naples because it's too really far. It's like Miami. I mean, people say they wouldn't want to do Miami, but we have unfortunately, because of how far south Fort Myers is from our base, we do, and the fact that there is, I'm going to call it a little mini war down there for our comic shows. It's kind of tough even to fill Fort Myers. It takes a while to do it. It's not like Orlando where I posted Altamont today and it's probably 50% full, just in one day. So if you want to get in on Altamont, hit me up. I'll send you a link to sign up and all that, because Orlando shows sell out really pretty quick. Claremont okay, so the Groveland area. Okay, Jose, if you find a venue that is at least a minimum of 5,000 square feet that we can rent, then I would entertain doing one of those areas. Groveland is too small. Claremont, you're going to get some people from Orlando. We want to try to go to some. We're not trying to. I know that we're Florida Toy Shows, but I'm working on bigger things now, and and I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. I'm working on expanding. So now our staff, I want to say everybody's part-time, but everybody is I think on board, and we're finally on the same page as far as what we're doing and the direction that we're going. And I say we a lot because I really feel like my wife, my kids, TK, and when he's around, and Jeff and Sean, Sean Wolf. These guys are my core group of people that help me out and put on the shows. When I started out, it was just me, and so I'm looking to build this up, and so that we can all, make make a living doing toys, and shows. So I'm going to plan on expanding out a little bit, and we're not going to talk about locations or anything like that, but eventually I will be going outside of Florida. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the logo or what I'm going to create here in just in a few minutes. But yeah, so that's the thing on that. We really haven't even covered all of Florida yet. I mean, Claremont is close enough to Orlando and stuff like that. So it's really about venues. It's really about venues. Thanks a lot, Randy. If you came out to Fort Myers, yeah, it was a pretty good show. It got a little chilly there later on. Hey, Sean, I'm going to be checking in on you in your car, and Andy will be looking forward to seeing you in Orlando with the new chocolate. You're in, and Marco is talking about. Um, uh, but again, I got to be able to fill a venue. I got to convince vendors of that. We got to find vendors. All right, so let me because I've already started to mention this. Well, first of all, let me before I do that, I'm going to talk about just over a week now from now we are in Orlando, okay, and we'll be back at Avanti. With it depending on the success um, of of uh, of Altamont. This could possibly be one of the last shows at Avanti, because the management of this place, it it literally changes like almost every show, you know. And so we got bumped earlier in the month. I mean, the people there are nice and everything, but it's like I have to restart a new relationship every time I want to get a show. We got bumped. We did get this date. I had a little thing with we're good now, but there was some little confusion on the contract and stuff like that. And I'm like, I've been doing this show here for 5 years or more, and it's like you would think they would just, we come to a date, send a thing, and what. Anyway, we'll be there on February 1st, but I don't know, depending on how Altamont goes or whatever, we might move after this, because I drive. You spend a lot of extra to be there, and I don't know, the parking there is not that great and stuff, but we are there and we are sold out, and it's going to be a great show. At Altamont, I'm going to have I want to announce it. I'm going to put it out there. No, I'm not going to put it out there, but we are going to probably have a guest that I can't talk about right yet, but I am going to talk about next week. I should have it next week. So we're going to have a really cool guest. Well, in my opinion, anyway. Okay. It's not like crazy great, but it's cool to me. Okay. I'll just say that it's a Transformers voice. All right. And so that I'll hopefully announce next week. And he'll be at hopefully a few of our shows this year, but this one in Altamont will be the first one. I'm also working on guests. There's a lady that I met in Dallas last year that has connected me to a bunch of people, and I'm really appreciative of that. All right. Now, speaking of guests, we will have Jeffrey Weissman and Keith Coogan will be at the Space Coast Collector Fest on the 22nd of February. So 2 guests for that show at least. And right now, and I don't know if I have space for anybody, I am down to the final tables. I'm down to final tables of that show. Marco, I will say that I'm working on that, but it's going to be for the July 11th and 12th show. That would be if I could get that. Yeah, you're going to need some luck, because there's like a major storm coming, and actually Hickory, North Carolina show was canceled. And cool. Thanks Javier for coming out. All right. Okay, so that's Space Coast. So I think I've talked about, I'm going to go ahead and post an updated schedule. You'll see that today I added Altamont, which was confirmed. I added North Florida, which is confirmed. Everything here, Port St. Lucie, everything through May 17th is on our website. So if you haven't been to our website, I'll go ahead and share that now, just because I want to, let's see. No. Hold on a second, guys. I'm going to show you the website. Okay. So this is our website. I update it after every show, usually on Tuesdays. Because I usually take Monday off after the show to catch up on some sleep and everything else. But this is the website, so it'll have our current schedule on there. Let me see. This should be updated actually. So this is the current schedule, and then each of these, all of the flyers are on here. I know they look similar or the same, whatever. I try to change the background around and that, but if I had to create a new um, fully custom flyer for every show, I mean, it just it takes a longer than you think. I don't have a extra graphic person right now, but I will eventually, but not yet. Um, so again, all anything that you want to sign up for, if you're a vendor, you just go to the website, and it'll have this little thing here. It says vendor space sold out. Here, this is the link. There's usually the link to a Facebook page and then the vendor application. Okay, so that's our website. Again, I update it regularly. Okay. All right. Now, the final thing I'm going to talk about is my expansion out beyond Florida. I know I'm not there yet, but I am going to be creating a page soon, so I want to tell you about it. Okay, and so when I share it with you, know that it's me. It's just, if we go to another state, okay, which I'm working on trying. Okay, I'm not going to talk about where I'm going because I don't have a direction, but when I expand, we have an actual Florida business. I have a Florida business called Collector Events that I actually created to house like, house like Florida Toy Shows. So the parent company of Florida Toy Shows technically is supposed to be Collector Events because of the way that things have happened. So if you see dream sites on your on your credit card statement or whatever, it's because I've had a website business for 30 years now. This month, 30 years ago in college, I created dream sites when Yahoo came out, and so and I am working on a Panhandle show, Mark. If you have any suggestions for venues, please let me know. So anyway, our business name really should be Collector Events, but that's kind of what owns Florida Toy Shows. So as we expand beyond Florida, okay, because I'm going to try and do that, whether it works, whether people come, whatever, it's going to be Collector Events, and it's spelled like you see. So the website is spelled collector.com. If you go there right now, I was working on a marketplace 5 years ago, so there might be a logo there, but I do own the domain collector like you see it.com. And so my app and my magazine and stuff like that I promote, where I'm going to try to market other people's shows, not just my own, is all going to run under this logo. Florida Choice Shows is not going to change at all. It's just that when I do a show, let's say I want to do a show in Georgia. I don't think I'm going to do a show in Georgia, but let's say I did, it would be under Collector Events. Okay. And so anyway, yes, I agree with that, Marco. And Mark, I appreciate that. Actually, I may have looked that up. Let me just write that down, because I think there was a place. So this may be a Mark. This might be, if this is where Pensacon is. I think I did call that place in a couple times, and in the way that they want it to run, which is basically all the tickets run through them, all the marketing runs through them, all of the there's a lot of other stuff, weird stuff. So I think I passed on that, but yeah, so I think that's why I didn't go with them, because the tickets and all the tickets and everything has to be handled through them, which I thought was kind of weird. But I mean, I might look into it again. But I think there was a school, or the University of West Florida had some space, and seems like something else. Casino? I don't know. But okay. So, but yeah, we're working on a Panhandle show. I just got to find the right venue. Let me see if anything else that I missed. Thanks, there, Marco. Yeah. Deezerland. What does Deezerland have to do with what I said? Anyway, okay, Trent. Yes. I won't know for sure. Normally, we do have set up in Orlando the night before, but and I did check into Deezerland. I don't have a price yet. Okay. I didn't contact. I got to follow up with them and ask for a price, and stuff. So, but anyway, all right. So I think, uh, Orlando Drive. I don't know what that means. Yeah, Mark, I'll look up them again. Again, they had it like a thing where they wanted to handle all the tickets and everything. So, yeah. So I'm gonna be taking some trips, and anyway, so this weekend, I don't know what I'm gonna do. There are, of course, a million card shows out there, but and anyway, and then anyway, so okay, let me go back to this real quick. Sorry, I know I'm all over the place here. I'm trying to get okay. So soon I'll be updating Kissimmee. I'm still working on filling in this date, June 7th. I am going to have a show, and then I'm waiting for RP Funding to get back to me. We already had this date for the Lakeland show, but I'm going to try to convert this to Super RetroCon, I think, in Lakeland here. Okay. So, all right. So I'll post this. If not, you guys can go to the website. All right. I think I've covered everything. And Lori, I appreciate you reaching out. I should be posting, Coral Springs. I'll be checking on another Fort Myers date. I do have some dates already set up for the fall that won't fit on the schedule thing here. So we'll be taking part of a break, in August, just because of the school thing this year. And then we'll be back in mid-September. So we'll probably take we're going to have full July, be full up, until through then. And then we'll probably take a little bit of a break in August. Maybe have one show somewhere, but anyway, just to help out some of the vendors, and then, but then come back in September. So through November. But anyway, is my plan. So anyway, I will see you guys next Tuesday here on online, if not before. I'm gonna try to do some videos with these glasses. You know what? Let me real quick here. Let me just let me see if I'll just end it here. Okay. You guys, and then I'll have some videos to share with you on the Meta glasses and stuff. You know what? I may have actually looked into that. I need to go up there again and check out these venues, because I only went up once, and I was looking at the fairgrounds in Tallahassee, and then I did look in Pensacola, but I didn't really look. I ended up going over to Louisiana. So anyway, but all right, I'll go ahead and wrap this up now, and I'll show you guys the video stuff next time, and maybe post something up. I want to try to make a video where I'm holding an item, and just see if that works. Anyway, we'll see you guys again next Tuesday. Maybe I'll see you this weekend somewhere, shopping around. I'm gonna probably hit up some toy stores. I'm gonna probably go and check out. Yesterday I was at the. Gonna be back in Orlando tomorrow for a little while. I was at the Echo Base. He's got some really great stuff there, man. Go check him out if you're in the area. And he comes and shops at our shows, but he's got great stuff at his store. So check him out there in Orlando. And 15. Oh, cool. All right. Yeah. I'll share that. I'll share that. I think you shared that on the group. Send me a link and I'll share it on the page there. And then thank you, Lori, for supporting us. And Zeta will be back in Coco, I think. All right. So we'll see you guys. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you next week. Have a great week. Great weekend, guys. Bye now.